he focused very hard on ensuring that his men would not abuse the trust of the Spanish peasants, and he made them know it and let the people also know it. And at the same time, he ensured that his men would get paid. They had their supplies, which is equally important because when your men are undersupplied, that's kind of like reduces your discipline.
Yeah.
And I think one of the most sad things was he actually got a demotion in 1805. He was actually a proven wing commander, like in armies, and got demoted to be a divisional commander within Marshal Lands Corps for the Battle of Austerlitz.
Yeah, and
Even though he, no,
Napoleon himself
Napoleon,
admitted, right, that he made a mistake by not trusting Suchet more.
yeah, and he still performed his duties admirably. And the crazy thing is, he got a good pension. He had titles and everything, even by 1805, just not the marshal's baton.
Yeah.
And it was only on Lannes' recommendation again in 1808 he finally got corps command. During the siege of Zaragoza, he was given command of the Third Corps.
Yeah.
It's after
He's the
that
only
he.
only marshal to receive his baton from Spain, right?
That's
Because
correct. Yeah,
everyone else,
and
you know,
Europe and Russia.
performed most shamefully there.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think the only exception I would
this is an
say,
obvious pick, right? I mean,
l-
you
yeah,
argue so.
yeah, I think Lance might be the only other general who performed well in Spain, but unlike the others, he did not stay in the country for too long.
Yeah.
So you can't really, you don't have that same track record of comparison.
All right. Next
Pretty
one,
much. Yep.
MacDonald,
Uh,
Etienne MacDonald,
uh,
McDonald. I don't know. McDo. He was.
I was having French fries today from Max, so
Honestly,
that was my
like on
that was my
Quebec,
lunch.
I'm not kidding. I don't know if they do this in France, but here they call it McDo when you
Yeah.
go to
I
McDonald's.
think they do that in France as well. McDo.
McDo.
uh, yes. So relation to fast food restaurant aside, um, just I think it's an obvious pick. I wrote Ned Stark in weaknesses because he reminds me of Ned Stark, just like an honorable man. You know, no sense for political intrigue and stuff.
His
He
outspokenness,
Yes,
as
his
King
his
Louis called him.
outspokenness. Yeah. I That's why Napoleon, I think, underutilized him because with Napoleon you have to like massage his ego a bit, you know, like, but he would just like bam, you know, this is this is what I think, and you know, most of the time he's probably right. Um, Honest human being. I mean, if you're worried, if you pick someone like Murat, he might betray you, but this guy will never betray you. You know where he stands.
Well, he'd only betray you if you go against France.
Yeah.
I think that's a better way. It is quite ironic when Napoleon promoted him, Oudinot Marmont, right, in 1809 to the rank of Marshal. MacDonald, he said he was promoted for France.
Yeah, for France.
That's actually pretty prophetic because
Yeah.
his loyalty remained to France, not Napoleon.
Yeah.
But and about his like strong commitment when Sayers wanted to like get an army sword, right, for his coup. Napoleon was definitely not Sayers' first choice. The first choice was General Joubert, who played a big role at the Battle of Rivoli, Craig, if you remember. The second was actually MacDonald, but he was not considered again because he's too honest and, for the skullduggery of a military coup.
Yeah, it seems like Ned Stark is actually a perfect way to summarize that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was it. And this, because that honesty actually meant like between 1805 to almost 1809, this guy did not have a job technically. And it was, I think, in 1809 he was military advisor to Prince Eugene, Napoleon's stepson, in the army of Italy. And then, they performed well in the Battle of Wagram against. So that's where MacDonald was said, made a marshal because Napoleon said, "You have behaved valiantly on the battlefield of your glory, where I owe you so large a part of yesterday's success. I make you Marshal of France. You have long deserved it." So definitely
And he
he's
deserves to be on this list. Yes.
yeah, but he's not on my list.
Oh, oh, no fast food for you. But I think this guy is just like
Okay, I'll just go to KFC then.
I just think this guy is he's just a chill guy, honest man, decent person. Um, he doesn't have an ego. He doesn't clash with anyone. He does what he thinks is right, and but that's predictable. So you know where you have him at least. Even if you are this Machiavellian, leader,
It makes him a
you
good chess
yeah
piece, though, because yeah, like
yeah
you said, if you're Napoleon, this guy's easy to place.
yeah.
Actually, what I also do genuinely admire is him and Marshal Saint-Cyr in the aftermath of the Napoleonic Wars, while they served uh, the army and the Bourbon dynasty. They also try to reform the army to make it less feudalistic, like how it was before the revolution, which the king wanted to return it to. And they also, both of them really worked hard to ensure a lot of the French veteran soldiers were taken care of. They were not going to be prosecuted just because they fought for Napoleon. These guys really shielded a lot of the soldiers. And I really respect that a lot. All right, who do you have next, Vic?
Saint-Cyr, Lo-
Speaking, I just had to mention Sancerre in the
Lo-
previous one.
Laurent de Gouvion Saint-Cyr, which is a name. Um, so his strengths, planning, tactics. He's a very methodical person and well, analytical, as I wrote his personality. He will take his time, dissect the situation, and formulate a plan and execute the plan to perfection. His weakness, though, is that he is cold and analytical, so kind of boring to be around for a little
But
bit.
brilliant in analyzing plans and maps.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
actually what he
yeah.
got his job in the first place on
Not
General
everyone
Hosh.
needs to be Jean Lannes or Michel Ney. Some people can actually think ahead.
Yeah,
And
but that
yeah,
was also why his weaknesses were there.
yeah. But he did. I think he clashed with some people, right?
Um, he also had a giant ass ego, though.
Oh, okay.
McDonald
Really?
did not really have an ego too much, but Sonsier, if he did not like the person, he's gonna hate you.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
I think I'll give you some examples if you'd like. So one moment. So I think the first example is definitely, um, you know, in 1805, where he was initially uh, the commander of the army of Italy that was to go up against Naples in the, War of the Third Coalition. And he was then put under command of Marshal Massena. And to him, that is unacceptable because he hates Massena. He thinks he's
well,
like,
in his defense, Massena is a scumbag or was a scumbag.
I mean, see, Massena was a great plunderer. I think he was only behind Ojero and Sultan and Van Damme in that department.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, see, ultimately he did abandon his post as commander of the army before Massena came to relieve him of command, which, if you really look at it in a pure military sense, that's not really done.
But
He
this
all
this isn't something that happened very frequently, though. I mean,
Yeah, but at the
that's why I
same
wrote
time that
somewhat. So
yeah, but
don't
at this
do not mix with Massena, and I don't even have Massena in my list. So
Yeah. And then he also had the same thing with Ojiro.
who is also a scumbag?
Okay. Yeah. And he also did not like them because, he always believed that soldiers had to be apolitical and not get involved. That was, and which is something you definitely have covered in your convictions.
I wrote
But
Republican, but I don't even really know.
yeah, he is. He was a very committed Republican in the early days. But yeah, again, he left his command in Spain before Ojiro came to replace him,
Yeah,
which Napoleon even had threatened to have him shot because, from pure military discipline point of view, he technically has the grounds now to do it.
yeah.
And most of it does come because Saint-Cyr was also a pretty strong thinker and he was intelligent. He knew it, so that made him pretty aloof. And that kind of like, rubbed the wrong way with all of these big egos of the marshals. And he was a
It
bit
seems like
detached.
the aloof marshals tend to rub the other marshals the wrong way, like Davout, Saint-Cyr, Bernadotte.
Yeah,
I don't know. The feeling I get from this from Saint-Cyr is that he doesn't have this massive ego.